Sounds full with nobody but himself. He rocks, man.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
The man of a million voices.
He does. You will soon understand.
This is where you get to learn about us. Just in case you're curious.
Well, these questions, we have some questions from our audience, and we have a few other questions for you that we're going to do first. I promise they're not too tough.
All right.
Well, the first things first, congratulations on tying the knot, you two.
Thank you.
I mean, such a charming couple, both of you. I mean, I'm in love with you both already. I'm so excited to be here with you. But I have to ask you, Dinah, were you surprised by Ace's proposal on Idol?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a big yeah. Because I had already told myself that I didn't need a ring to prove that I loved him. And yeah, and I was happy just to be his best friend the rest of my life. So when the proposal came, I was like, what?
She was more caught off guard how good our seats were at the finale. In the beginning, she was like, why are we sitting so close? And then we were pulled up on stage. And then I was either going to be the happiest man or the loneliest man in the world.
And we're so used to, when you're on the show, when the producers ask anything of you, you just go, okay, sure, I'll do it, okay. And great, so in the moment when, they said, why don't you guys come up on stage? That, little bug just bit me in the tush and said, okay, just do whatever they said. And as we got up, as we're walking up, I mouthed, what are we doing? And he's like, I don't know.
Just go with it. She's like, I don't know the song.
Yeah, 1,000 scenarios ran through my head. Are they going to make me sing? Or, oh no, they'll say, oh, they're in love. And singing that love song is very mellow. But then the one I did not consider was the truth.
And the rest is history, right?
Definitely.
It's history, yeah. Diane, this next question is for you. You started at such a young age performing and being in the entertainment industry, being a Coca-Cola kid and competing on America's Most Talented Kid. Talk to us a little bit about what that's been like growing up in the spotlight.
Well, I sang at a lot of fairs. Hey! Growing up, things like the Pig Jig in South Georgia. It's a real thing. Yes! The Watermelon Festival, the Watermelon Crawl, the song, and there actually is a real Watermelon Festival in Georgia. Yeah, I kind of would perform anywhere and everywhere they would let me, and I was a kid you could not put down. I would sing to people in traffic. I would put my head down the window and say, what do you want to hear? And I would always ask, but then I'd always sing the same song, which was Crazy by Patsy Cline. That was my #1 song, still is #1. And doing Idol at 16 was quite the experience. I don't think anyone going into the show knows what you're signing up for, let alone being 16 and doing school and being a junior in high school. Oh, it was awful enough as it was. But it definitely made me into the person I am today, so I'm very thankful for the experience. And it's amazing to think that I was on Idol 10 years ago. I know, trust me, it's crazy, but it's, as people have seen, American Idol is such an amazing, it's a phenomenon, it really is. It's the biggest show in the world, and the fact that y'all still want to hear me sing 10 years later ain't too shabby.
And from one show to another, a beloved show, from American Idol to Young and the Restless, where we've seen you as Angelina, which seems like a part that must be so fun to play as it is to watch. Talk to us about what drew you to that role, and also playing a character that, singing is a little
tone deaf. Yeah. Which, in all honesty, if you aren't tone deaf, we can't teach you to sing. It just doesn't happen. But with the magic of television, Angelina learned how to sing pretty quickly. I did some theater. I've done lots of theater post-American Idol, and that's how I met my husband here, Mr. Ace Young. We did Hair on Broadway together, and I got asked after I did Hair. I did 9 to 5. I played Dolly Parton for a year and a half, and then I went and did Hairspray again at the Hollywood Bowl. I played Penny in New York, and then played it again in LA. And when I was doing the show, the producers of The Young and the Restless and the writers happened to see, oh, that crazy girl up on stage is completely out of her mind. She'll be nuts enough to play this role. So they called about 2 weeks after the show, and I had never done a soap opera before, had no idea what I was getting myself into, but it was an amazing learning experience. Those actors work so hard to give you an episode every single day. It's completely new. It's so much information. And I talked like this. Angelina was from New Jersey and she couldn't sing, but it's okay. She eventually learned. And she was originally a pop star, but then she really fell in love with country music. Have y'all heard Dolly Parton? Like, she's the most fabulous thing in country music. So they asked Ace and I to write a song for my character, which was Good Goodbye, which y'all heard tonight. So it was a wonderful experience, and if they call, I will go back at the drop of a hat.
Getting away for a second from your performing career, you've both been involved with the Muscular Dystrophy Association. Talk to us about how you got involved with that organization.
NDA actually approached me. I did a lot with Denver Children's Hospital when I got off of Idol. And a lot of the fans that I got to meet at that moment are here today, and thank you for all that you did for Denver. I mean, truthfully, our goal was to raise $100,000 for Children's Hospital, and with local radio, in that first year we raised $3.2 million. And we built the whole facility. So instead of just donating like one little room, we donated the whole thing. It was 16 perfectly built blackout rooms for parents to sleep. It don't cost them a dime, in the same building where their kids are getting their treatment. And it was just unbelievable. So I get choked up even talking about it. Every time I go back, I see thank you to Ace and his high rollers. Many of them are here. So thank you. But MDA approached me thereafter, and they came up and they said, you like to work out. Like, kids like to see the things that you do activity-wise, and you jump all over and you're kind of a maniac. Is there any way that we could just have you come to Arizona and meet our kids with MDA? So my brother and I went there, and that was 6 years ago. And I fell in love with these kids. I went to the camps with them, and their brains are so, what up? Their brains are so mature, and they've lived so much. They already know the secret to life, which is to live it with those you love and cherish. Everything else just doesn't matter. I fell in love with them, so I performed out that year. I always was involved. I became a celebrity ambassador the next year. When I had Diana in California, I kind of pulled her arm and I was like, come on, you're going to love this, it's going to be awesome.
You didn't have to pull too hard.
And she fell in love with the kids at the same time, and actually this year, instead of just a VP, I'm actually a national VP for MDA. So you'll see a lot of us around the telethon.
We're having a telethon next weekend. If everybody remembers Jerry's Kids, it's still the legend is living on with MDA, and I found out after Ace had brought me in to help him with some MDA events, I didn't realize, but I found out later that my father had passed away from a variation of muscular dystrophy, and so it's a personal touch, and I think it hits home for more people than we realize. So if you're home over Labor Day weekend, check out the MDA Telethon. They have amazing performers. It's all shot on the American Idol stage. I didn't tell you that. So tune in and donate if you can.